Hi, in this video I'm going to try and answer a question that I'm frequently asked. And this comes from musicians working in all sorts of different areas of music, but it's something that is quite important to be absolutely clear about. What constitutes a major, minor, augmented or diminished chord? So let's have a little think about this, because there is a recipe that can be followed if you know about your intervals. So let's start with the note C, just to keep all this fairly straightforward. And let's build a triad, because once we've got a triad, you can take your chord from the notes of the triad, and as long as you use the notes of the triad, you can arrange the chord in any way you like. But the essential thing is to know which notes are going to belong to the triad so that you've got the right notes in the chord. So if I want a major chord built on C, it sounds like this. And it's worth just engaging with that aurally so you can hear that tonality, hear that major tonality. So there is a C major chord. Now, how do I know it's a C major chord and not one of these other things? Well, if you know about intervals, in a major chord you have a root, that's the bottom note of the triad, that's C in this case. You have a major third above it, which is E, and you have a perfect fifth above it, which is G. So if you know about your intervals, you can think, okay, C is my starting point, put a major third above it, E, put a perfect fifth above the C, I get my G. If that's not quite so clear, you could think in semitones. So if I think of it in semitones, from my C, I go 1, 2, 3, 4 semitones up to the E. Okay, and having gone there, I go 5, 6, 7 semitones to take me to the G. So 4 plus 7 semitones will give me a major triad, which I can use to make a major chord. So once I've got C, E, G, I can organise C, E, G any way I like. Those are all examples of a C major chord. And if you wanted to build that major chord on any other note, you'd do exactly the same thing. So there's the recipe for it, if you like. Okay, let's think about what constitutes a minor chord. So here was that C major chord again. Now I'm going to play C minor. So you can immediately hear the difference. C major, C minor. So it's quite useful to be able to hear the difference in that tonality. So what constitutes a minor triad? Well, I've got C at the bottom and I've got E flat this time and G. Now, what you need above the root, the bottom note, is a minor third and a perfect fifth. So in a major chord you had a major third and a perfect fifth, but in a minor chord you have a minor third and a perfect fifth. So C to E flat is a minor third, C to G is a perfect fifth, just as it was before. If you're not too happy about these intervals I'm talking about, think in semitones. So 1, 2, 3 semitones takes you from C to E flat, and you've still got 7 from C up to G. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so that's how the minor triad works. And again, you can take those 3 notes, C, E flat, G, organise them in any way that you want to. As long as you're using the notes of that minor triad. Brilliant. Next on our list, augmented. So let's see what happens in augmented. This is a very dramatic chord actually. So listen to this. You can hear immediately that's got more drama about it, more tension, isn't it? It's sometimes used in film scores to kind of create slightly chilling effects. Oh, someone's about to be stabbed in the shower. So you can hear how that chord has its own distinctive qualities. So listen to this. Here's major, here's minor, here's augmented. Very different sound, isn't it? So what do we have in an augmented triad? Well, we have a major third from C to E, and we have an augmented fifth from C up to the G sharp. So C, E, G sharp is giving me an augmented triad on C. And again, you can organise that in any way that you want to give us the maximum drama from that augmented chord. What does it mean in terms of semitones? Well, it's got the major third, which is just the same as it was for the major triad. So 1, 2, 3, 4 semitones. But remember, we had 7 semitones to go up the major triad to the perfect fifth and the minor triad. So we're now going to have to go 8, aren't we, to get to the top of this one. So this one is a 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 plus 5, 6, 7, 8. 4 plus 8. So there's the augmented triad, C, E, G sharp. And you can use either of these recipes to construct that on any other note. And finally, the diminished chord. So what's a diminished chord sound like? That's a different kind of chord. It's got its own kind of musical tension or own sense of drama, hasn't it? So now I've got C, E flat, G flat. So what's going on here? Well, C to E flat is a minor third, so that's the same as the minor triad, isn't it? But then at the top, I've got this diminished fifth from C to G flat. So what does that mean? So at the bottom, I've got 1, 2, 3 semitones. And then to get to the next note, 4, 5, 6. So this is a 3 semitone plus a 6 semitone above the bottom note. Or a minor third and a diminished fifth. And again, you can spread this out in whatever way you want to. You can even use different notes of the triad as the bass note, and that's what's called putting it in inversion. But that's a topic for another day. Today was just to give you the recipes for determining a major, minor, augmented and diminished triad, so you can hear the sound, see how they're different from each other, and also if you have to read those chords on a lead sheet, or if you're trying to compose something thinking I'd like to have these different kinds of chords, you've now got a recipe, and all you've got to do is apply that on whichever note you want to build a triad that you can then turn into a chord.